DBS 17 is okay. I'm okay with the fact that I can't play as him until he's already losing.
Yeah, so with the release of Pikkon and Toppo, Xenoverse 2 has yet again proven that death is a social construct as long as you have enough DLC. But as the game gets bigger, it also gets more claustrophobic for an EX-FAT SD card that doesn't take files bigger than 4 gigs. And this means that there's one major unfortunate cut. However, it's pretty superficial, and it's the only cut feature. The music mod, which added a bunch of Legends and Dokkan battle tracks, had to be cut due to being nearly a full gigabyte. Some of the mods by Unleashed, such as Silver Dragon Flash, also have a new glitch that prevents their audio from being played. It's not an oversight. I checked like 5 times. Something in the new update just doesn't play nice with their sound files. With the new bad news out of the way, let's get on to the good stuff. Several new costumes have been added, and some have been made playable after being hidden in the CSS. Adult Krillin has a new costume based on his appearance in the Boo arc. His stats are appropriately rusty and unhelpful, but he still plays much the same as his other costumes. Pan and 18 both have costumes that were made hidden in the CSS, based on costumes they could be given as presents. Kid Goku's old version was a bit buggy, so I replaced him with 2 new versions that are more stable and a little bit more polished. Similarly, Frieza's second and third forms used to be cooler clones with awkward hitboxes. Frieza's third form didn't even have animated bones on his hand. That's been fixed by replacing them with 2 much higher quality mods. They're very rare, and I paid for them, so please handle them gently. Goku's End of Z costumes have been removed and replaced with a new set of forms entirely. I've called it End Goku. End Goku is a cross between Z, Super, and GT Goku, and is intended to feel like his strongest and most experienced variation. Stronger than base form GT, but not stronger than Super Saiyan 4 Goku, just to keep it consistent with GT. He comes in base, Super Saiyan, and Super Saiyan 3 flavors. Now we move on to entirely new forms and characters. Most notably, False Super Saiyan has been added, so you can now have a real Goku versus Slug fight recreation. I hope all 2 fans of the Slug movie are really happy about this new form. Gohan has also been given 2 new forms. The first is a base form for his teen variation. It's probably the least exciting part of the update, but it should help fill in some missing matchups. Next is a variation based on his appearance in GT, with skills to match some of his fight scenes. Unfortunately, only his Super Saiyan form is available. This is convenient because he only ever fought while blonde, but it's also because the mod he comes from only has a Super Saiyan version. Next is a Togama variation for Ginyu. He uses Ginyu's fighting style and voice clips, and it's his strongest form by a mile. Have fun beating up Gohan. Lastly, there's Kui. He's Kui. He's a joke character for evil Vegeta to beat up. Let's talk about some moveset changes now. Some of Goku and GT Goku's moves have been moved around to make them more unique, cohesive, and loyal to the source material. Vegeta and GT Vegeta have had some of their generic moves replaced with more unique ones. None of them are new, but they should still make Vegeta's base forms feel more unique than they used to be. DBS and Xenotrunks have also had some moves moved around for the same reason. It was a little bit redundant to have Super Masenko and Final Flash on the same form, so he's been given the Mafu bout that his base form used to have instead. He's also been given back the dual Masenko. It may have been a move that Gohan used, but Trunks had it first in this game, so it just felt appropriate to give it back. As for Xenotrunks, I just replaced Full Power Energy Wave with the Masenko Ultimate, because giving someone FPW when they don't need it is evil. Vegeto's been given the Big Bang attack to replace his Afterimage Strike. You'll see why I did this later, but for now, just know that it fits better in his combos. Kyudoob's Angry Hit has been given back to him. It was only removed before because I completely forgot it existed. In the wake of Toppo's existence, one of his older moves have been given to Champa instead. God of Destruction's Anger didn't really fit him before, and it had his arm face through his back, so I replaced it with God's Soro. It's a lazy starter move with a slow, powerful projectile, so it fits Champa surprisingly well. This should fit a lot better than the Majin aura that he used to have. Caulifla's Stampede Blaster has been buffed, with its second hitbox being active for longer. Before, the second hit would very rarely connect, but it should always connect now. Inversely, Gigantic Crash and Gigantic Wave have been given much needed nerfs. Before, they were ridiculously overpowered, with unmatched tracking and massive damage at very little cost. I don't want to hear anyone complaining. Nuova Shenron's Fighting Sun has been completely overhauled. Since Trunks has Burning Heart, which is exactly the same attack as the old Fighting Sun, I decided to give Nuova a a much needed strike skill instead. The new Fighting Sun is a powerful melee move that can be effectively used to start combos with its high hit stun. Paikon and Toppo are new, but they've also been given some moveset changes. Reverse Mabaku Senko may have been useful, but it's Piccolo's move, so Paikon doesn't get to use it. It's been replaced by High Speed Rush. It may be a generic move, but it fits in well with his strike-focused moveset that relies on tracking attacks. Energy Wave combo has been replaced by Charged Energy Blast. In addition to looking like Arrow Break, it's a weaker move, but it's extremely effective, and it can combo into Burning Shot at any level of charge. On the other hand, Toppo's generic moves have been replaced by his unique ones from the old pack. This includes the Stamina Obliterating God's Apathy and the iconic God's Emptiness. Meanwhile, the moves that came with the DLC have been renamed to fit the naming scheme of the other destroyers, and the Justice Flash has been given its real name. The last major character update is probably the most exciting for a lot of you, so I wanted to not only make Monkita more viable in Xenoverse, but also pay homage to his level up system. Gogeta has been given 2 new moves, and one of his ultimates has been completely overhauled. First, Gogeta's generic energy charge has been replaced by Punisher Sign. Punisher Sign is like a cross between Punisher Guard and Finish Sign. Gogeta gains complete invulnerability while his aura is spiking, and he also gains 2 bars of ki after it's used. He's completely immobile while taunting, but the armor and instant ki makes it one step better than other ki charging skills. Gogeta's old evasive, which used to be Punisher Guard, is now Ultimate After Image. Ultimate After Image is essentially a faster version of After Image Strike with invincibility at the start and turned into an evasive. It can even be cancelled into Bluff Kamehameha, just like in the show. The Big Bang Kamehameha has also been changed into a 200 ki move. In exchange, it deals way more damage, totaling up to just over 8,000 damage when fully charged. I'd like to note that it teleports at full charge, just like Gogeta's version. But not only was that in the old mod pack too, it was actually officially added to Xeno Vanilla in the latest update. Good job, Dimps. It only took you 6 years to decide on something that took me 30 seconds to add. Gogeta's combo chains have also been sped up. You can notice it in his all-light combo, but it's especially noticeable in his all-heavy combo. This should make him fit in better alongside Bluegeta's faster playstyle. Lastly, you may have noticed that Gogeta now has 10 bars of ki when he used to have much less. And that's because the 100 BBK has been given a complete overhaul. Just like in Fighter Z, the move is now a gluttonously costly insta-kill. It takes all 10 bars of ki, making it akin to what Power Rush is in the vanilla version. Just like in Fighter Z, Monkita's game plan is now to taunt the enemy as much as possible and then kill them with a giant big blue beam of death. It's actually even stronger than in Fighter Z, since it can break guards. That's pretty much everything, but there's one more major change to announce. I fixed the feature that made avatars inaccessible on the CSS. That's right, Time Patroller named Goku, your uber powerful OC, which is just Gohan with white hair, is now playable again. As it turns out, I just forgot 4 bytes of data when adding them back in, and that was enough to make them all disappear. Whoops. But everyone's back now. No harm, no foul. And that's probably everything new I've added in the latest edition of the world's first Xenoverse 2 mod pack. I started working on this immediately after finishing the last one, so there are probably a few things I forgot to mention that you can look out for. The download will be left in the description below, and within the week you should be finally getting a tutorial on how to make your own Switch mod packs. I hope you all take care of yourselves and have fun returning to Monkey. Fun fact, by the way, it's not likely that any of you have noticed, but I've modified Ginyu's Holstein Shock to damage his armor after it's been used. I have no idea what this might do to CACs, but now you can find out for yourself.